What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And guys, because I do read your comments, and because I did start all of this to kind of help you out a little bit as far as doing projects on your car, and for not only for entertainment, but hopefully you get some sort of value out of it. I continue, despite having thought I answered the questions a lot about the car, and would I do the car again? Would I do the swap again? And the questions just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. So I decided I'm going to do an entire video, and I'm going to lay out the case for not only why, but maybe a lot of things you haven't heard either about this swap, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Let's get to it. All right, guys. So we actually are at this ultra freaking cool spot, and this is just like one of my favorite spots, especially when I'm out cruising. I just stop by and take some random pictures. But anyway, let's get into it. The question is, would I, if I had to do it all over again, would I do the swap again? The answer is a resounding yes. And I'll give you a few reasons. A lot of the reasons were, when I started doing this, is I wanted reliability. I wanted a car that I could still drive, that I could still enjoy when I got it out, and it wasn't more of a pain in the ass to drive than it was actually enjoyable. Because when you get a car that's very high maintenance, very cantankerous, very moody, because of a big ass cam or whatever, at the end of the day, they cease to be much fun at all. Especially when you're trying to go to a cruise in, or maybe take your wife and your kids to somewhere to get a freaking milkshake. Because the car is such a pain in the ass, it ceases to be fun, and that's what I was trying to avoid. Okay, so again, yes, I would do it over again in a second. And let me go ahead and go a little farther in that. The Coyote engine that I got makes the same power as a very, very well-built 347. I haven't had it on the official dyno yet, so I'll give you those numbers as soon as I get them. But just knowing other truck motors, other F-150 Coyote engines, what they've made, this is going to make more than a full boogie 347, one that you could still drive on the street. Now if we're getting a little crazy radical, yeah, they do make more power, but something that's streetable, this Coyote makes more power. And it's also got that reliability, like I talked about. It's smooth, and it makes stupid power, and it wants to rev to 8 grand. It sounds absolutely phenomenal, and all I gotta do is change oil. And everybody's talking about, oh, Coyotes are so they're so complicated, they're so hard to work on. Well, guess what? You don't have to work on this. I don't have to adjust valves. I don't have to double check the timing. All the other stuff that I used to have to do to my little 302s. It doesn't leak oil. My 302, brand new gaskets everywhere, leaked oil. All of them always did. Just one of those things that you just kind of get used to. But that's another thing I appreciate about this car. It's a fresh engine in the car. It's not leaking. All right, guys. So here's the big one. This is what everybody says, other than it's too complicated. Is it costs too much. And again, let me get back to the actual prices of modifying a car. I paid $2 grand for my truck motor. The cheapest decent 347 I could find, long block, was about $7,000. So just wipe that out right there. When you're building a pushrod motor, you need roller rockers, you need heads, cam, you need intake. There's so many little parts to it, throttle bodies and mass air meters and all these other things, injectors, and then you have to have it tuned, just like you have to have a Coyote tuned. You're going to want to do a tubular suspension like you did with the Coyote. So when you get right down to it, other than the control pack, which again, are you going to use with a brand new 347 or 363? Are you going to use your stock computer and all the stock wiring, or are you going to go and buy like a Holly or something like that, some sort of fast system to run the engine effectively, instead of using a 25-year-old computer and wiring? That's that's kind of the point that I'm getting at. A control pack, which is about $1,500–1,600 bucks, is a lot cheaper than a fast system or Holly EFI. Okay, guys, so let's talk about reliability for a minute. Not drivability, none of that. We're talking reliability. This engine is built to go in a Mustang or a truck for 200,000, I don't know, 250, 300,000 miles. I don't know what the usable life of a Coyote engine is, but it's built to withstand, while making, 400 plus horsepower, it's built to withstand the rigors of day-to-day use for a very, very long time. Now, I've had the strokers, and I've had the heads cam intake, engines, all that, the 302s, and you run into issues with like valve guides on the old TFS heads. You run into, rockers breaking loose, the little poly locks will snap or something like that, or the little needle bearings will come off, or, you won't have the push rod length just right, and you'll end up bending one of those. It's always something. When you go farther and farther away from stock, you lose that reliability, and you don't have to worry about that with a Coyote, which is another reason why I want to do this swap. Now, here's the thing. I do a lot of things differently than most people do with their swaps. I like to drive my car to events. That's why I named it the Road Warrior. And so that reliability and that drivability was very important to me. Maybe that doesn't matter to you. So again, it really boils down to what you want to do with your car, what matters most to you about your car. Sure, a cam sounds really good, but, my engine before was heads cam intake, and it sounded nasty, especially at idle. But this engine has no cam loop, just kind of sits there, blah, 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 blah. And makes 120 more horsepower. So what's really most important to you, the sounding fast or actually being fast? Because to me, I want to go fast. Back to the expense things, like, well, you had to have a built transmission. Well, your T5 is not going to stand behind a 347. It's not. It might for a little while on street tires, on the street, but eventually that T5 is going to go broke. I've broken about 5 of them. It's not going to stand any type of power. So, again, all the myths that you read on the internet, all the people that are hating on the Coyotes and saying it's a waste of money and all that, all of these arguments, not necessarily true. All right, guys. So again, I wanted to give you my opinion, my take, my reasonings for the swap, and would I do it again? Absolutely, yes. To answer your question, yes, I would. And the main thing is that, as I said, you enjoy your car and do what you want to do with it. Hot rodding is not cheap. Everybody says, oh, it's a budget bill. There is no budget bills, because building cars are expensive. It's part of life. But at the same time, if you're going to spend that money, have fun with it. Enjoy it. And I could not enjoy this car more. This car has never been more fun. I've never had a Fox body that is this much fun in my entire life, to just get in and go, just rip, just scream. Every time somebody rides in it, they get out and their heart's just beating. They're like, oh my God. And this brings me to my last question. Everybody is always saying, well, do you guys do anything but Coyotes at the shop? Well, here's the thing. No one's coming to us wanting us to build them a 347 or put it on heads cam intake. Every time they ride in one of the cars at the shop, all they want is a Coyote. So that's their choice too. Totally cool. All right, guys, so there you go. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. I hope this gave you some, some food for thought. And again, all the videos that I do, while I do hope they're somewhat entertaining, I hope they're somewhat entertaining. I do want you to get some value out of them, get some information, get some knowledge out of them. Again, if I hadn't been happy with the swap, I'd have been the first one to tell you. If I thought it was a waste of money, I'd be the first to tell you. If I thought it just wasn't worth the hassle, I'd be the first to tell you. But you know what? On all of those, I gotta give it a resounding big thumbs up, because, well, again, there's a reason I'm never selling this car. So there you go, guys. I hope that was helpful. And again, keep the questions coming. I do my best, but just by sheer volume, I can't answer every question. I do my best, but I fail at times. So in the meantime, if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Yes, we will be on the dyno soon. Yes, we will be on the track soon. It is winter. It is cold. It is crappy outside. Spring's coming. Hold on to your britches. Later, guys.